Hi everyone, it's Dr. J. Welcome back. I believe knowledge is power and sharing is caring. I know that I haven't been posting for a while and I'm very excited to be back here and connect with you guys again. And today, I'm coming back with a very exciting topic that I think will be helpful for a lot of people out there who are preparing their journey to get into medical school. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my personal journey that got me to where I am today. At the same time, in my next video, I'm planning to cover general tips that would help you become a stronger candidate to get into a medical school and also potentially make your application process to medical school a bit easier. If you're interested in topics, make sure to watch both of the videos. And also, if this is your first time watching my video, make sure to click like and subscribe to my channel and put on your notification bell so that you don't miss out my upcoming videos. And now, let's get started! One thing I want to highlight before I share my video is the fact that there's no one right way that would actually help you get into medicine. And what I'm going to be sharing today is just one of the many different examples of how people ended up being in medicine. And people will have different challenges depending on the situations that you're in and also the upbringings. And therefore, it would be important for you to face those unique challenges and also not let those bring you down. Believe in yourself, work hard, and eventually you will be where you want to be. Just to give you a little bit of background of my upbringing, I was born in South Korea and moved to Philippines where I stayed for 1 year to learn English in an international school, and my whole family then immigrated to Canada when I was in grade 10. And just to let you know, I don't come from a family of doctors. I'm actually the first one to actually pursue my dream in medicine. And honestly, being a doctor wasn't my childhood dream. I actually envisioned myself being a fashion designer, though I have no idea where I got the idea from. And I would say, looking back, there wasn't any single event that actually got me into medicine, but it was more of those like cumulative events and life experiences that really shaped my interest to pursue my dream in medicine. And I would say one of the key events that happened during my childhood and kind of growing up was the fact that I do have history of a severe eczema, which is also known as atopic dermatitis. And while going through that, I guess I struggled a lot in terms of my self-esteem and also just self-image formation, especially during the teenagehood. And at the time, I was seeing a pediatrician who really helped a lot in terms of kind of supporting my journey going through that difficult time period. And that was when I really thought to myself that I want to become someone who can actually provide that care and support for other people during one of their most difficult times. So by the time when I was in Canada, I already knew that I wanted to get into a medical school. But the question was, how? Like, how? I'm pretty sure that's the reason why you're watching this video as well. And I kept having that thought in my head because I didn't come from a family of doctors, nor did I know anyone in a healthcare field. And that made me so frustrated and almost felt like an unreachable dream to get into a medical school. Another challenge that I had for myself personally was the fact that English wasn't my first language. As I already told you guys, I was born in South Korea and came to Canada when I was in grade 10. And I was initially in ESL when I first started my high school here in Canada. And that posed an additional challenge, and I would say one of the greatest challenge, because not only did I have to learn everything in English, which wasn't my first language, but I also had to put an extra effort to actually do well on all the courses and other activities that I participated in. In order to overcome these challenges, I did take a supplemental English course to improve on my English. And at the same time, I also did a lot of research into different opportunities, including networking events and educational events, where I knew I could connect to people who were already steps ahead in their journey to pursue medicine, or those who were already in medicine. And this was so that I can actually gain some insight that will potentially help me in terms of decision making when I'm planning for my journey into medicine. And after talking to people and doing research, I decided that McMaster's Health Sciences program would be the best option for me, based on their flexible curriculum and also very pre-med tailored program that would increase my chance of getting into a medical school. One thing I want to highlight is that throughout high school, not only did I put in the best effort for my academic excellence, but at the same time, I also made sure that I spent a lot of time outside of the academics as well. And this included being part of the orchestra where I played flute. I was part of a swimming team where I competed in a swimming competition. And at the same time, in terms of school-related curricular-wise, I also co-founded a club called Popcorn Club. And that's because I enjoy watching movies and wanted to share that interest with other people by watching a movie together and actually talking about some of the lessons and impressions that we got. At the same time, I was also teaching people of a lower grade of subjects that I was confident about. And outside of school, I also did a lot of volunteering activities, including being a volunteer leader at a nursing home where I would often plan charitable events like talent shows, and at the same time volunteering in food banks. And through this effort, on the day of my graduation of high school, I was able to get a recognition for my academic excellence, but also get an award for outstanding community contribution as well. And that's what you should aim for. And hopefully the things that you do outside of academics are in areas that you're passionate about, as not only would it be fun for you to participate in things that you enjoy, but also give back to other people at the same time. So now start on university life, and I have to say it wasn't as exciting as how one would have imagined, as this was a time period where I really upped my game to get into a medical school. And this time period really flew by in a blink of an eye. What I personally feel blessed about is the fact that I was surrounded by like-minded people in my undergraduate program. I would say around 90% of the people in this program wanted to go into medical school, and therefore being surrounded by these people not only made me work harder, but also stay motivated to reach my goal. During my undergraduate time, I focused on 5 different areas that will make me a stronger candidate to get into medical school. The first thing I want to highlight is academics. As you may already know, medical school requires candidates to have a good GPA. And therefore, it is important for you to put in the best effort to be one of the tops in your class. At the same time, I do recommend people to do research early on in terms of looking into prerequisites for different medical schools. In Canada, there are only a few medical schools available, and each school have different prerequisites of courses. For example, some schools do require organic chemistry, while some schools don't. And therefore, it is important to do that research early on and plan it early so that you don't have to go through the hassle of trying to take all these prerequisites in the last minute, which would be such a headache, right? Second area is research. And I do recommend everyone who's planning to apply to a medical school to take on whether a small or a big research project, because not only does it give you an opportunity for you to learn different skills and knowledge, but at the same time, it is a great opportunity to network. And oftentimes, the supervisor is someone who is a great person to ask for a reference letter when you're applying for a medical school. Because oftentimes you have worked with this person for a long time and they already know how motivated you are and how hardworking you are. And sometimes you may be even luckier. They may already be in a healthcare field and they may be able to provide a strong reference letter for you. Third is the extracurricular activities. I would say this is as important as strong academics because it really shows that you're a well-rounded person. This is also a great opportunity to show your areas of passion as well as your leadership and teamwork skills as well. For instance, for myself, I co-founded a club with my friend called A Random Acts of Kindness, and this was to organize different charitable events and activities in the hopes to return something back to the community. Additionally, I was part of a charitable fashion show given my interest in fashion styling, and not only did I have a good memories with my friends, but I was also able to give back to the community. Fourth is the volunteering opportunities, and this is similar to extracurricular activities in the sense that it really does show that you're not just strong in the academics but a very well-rounded person. And for me personally, I did volunteer a lot of the times in the nursing home where I got to interact with the residents, and this was also a great opportunity for me to solidify that dream as well. Lastly is work. I would say work is optional, but again, I think different experiences provide different set of skills and experience that you can talk about during your medical school as well, and an opportunity for you to grow as an individual too. For instance, for myself, I did work as a teaching assistant for an anatomy course back in my undergraduate program, and I would say it did not only solidify the knowledge that I learned during the course while I was actually taking it, but at the same time, it also provided an opportunity for me to learn some skills to be a better mentor and also being able to support the students at different stages. While you're going through school, your plan may change. For me, initially, I was planning to apply to medical school after completing 4 years on my undergraduate program. Shortly after writing my MCAT, I actually did see a lot of my friends who were planning to apply to a medical school out of their 3rd year. And my thought was, why not? I might as well give it a try. And therefore, I started preparing for my application for a medical school from July to October. And one tip that I want to share for preparing for application is make sure you keep your CV up to date. This will really help you in terms of your application process when you're applying for a medical school. And my backup plan was to apply again after I finish my 4-year program if I don't get in. In terms of a Canadian timeline, July to October is when you start preparing for your application to medical school, and January to February is when you hear back about interviews from different schools. For me personally, I only applied to 2 schools, University of Ottawa and McMaster University, and I got an interview from University of Ottawa only, and I completed my interview in March. In May, that's when you actually hear back about the result as to where you got in or not. And I have to say that waiting period can be very agonizing as you don't know what the future holds. But again, what I want to say is even if you don't get it in the first try, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are not capable or competent. It just means that the luck wasn't with you. And therefore, it is always important to stay strong, believe in yourself. And in Canada, we always say you have to apply at least twice for medical school. And the May comes, and I have to say I was initially on a waiting list, meaning I didn't formally get accepted in the very first cycle, and there was an additional waiting period until I actually got my formal official letter that I got accepted to the University of Ottawa. And I have to say that was the most memorable day ever in my life, and I did cry out of joy, which is the first time ever. The world looks beautiful, and it almost feels like that unreachable dream that you always dreamed of throughout your life has finally come true. And guys, I have to say it is worth it if this is something that you're really passionate about and you're actually pursuing a dream in medicine for the right reasons. So in summary, we went through my high school experience and university experience as well that potentially helped me to get into medical school. And one thing I want to highlight again is that there's no correct way of getting into medical school, as every experience is different, and I'm just sharing a little bit about my experience personally. I would say most of the medical schools are looking for similar qualities in their candidates. They're looking for someone who's hardworking, committed, continuously learning and improving. And lastly, well-rounded person. And being well-rounded can be demonstrated by things that you do outside of academics, and that would include like extracurricular activities, research, and volunteering. I hope that this was helpful for you guys who are preparing your journey to get into a medical school, and I'm also very much excited for you guys as well. And don't let anyone bring you down. You're the one who can truly decide your true potential. So that's gonna be the end for my video for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to click like and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys next time, where I will be sharing a general list of tips that I want to share with everyone that will potentially make it easier when you're applying for a medical school. And until then, take care!